All right. It is now time for our historical ages. Are there any children who would like to come up on this one? All right. I invite you to gather around as we hear a special story called How Grateful, written by Faith Foster Lasser and John Lasser, illustrated by Christopher Miles. I'm Kiko.
We are thankful to our mother, the earth, for she gives us all that we need. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us, as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. The waters. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms: waterfalls and rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the spirit of water. Now our minds are one. The fish. We turn our minds to all the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are grateful that we can still find pure water. So we turn now to the fish, and we send our greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. The plants. Now we turn toward the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, we give thanks and look forward to seeing plant life for many generations to come. Now our minds are one. Now hear the words of author Jean Shinoda Boland. I move through my day-to-day life with a sense of appreciation and gratitude that comes from knowing how fortunate I truly am and how unearned all that I am thankful for really is. To have this perspective in my everyday consciousness is in itself a gift, for it leads to feeling great or blessed each time. Every time I see beauty around me, I appreciate what I'm seeing, and simultaneously, I have this sense of appreciation for being alive to have this particular moment. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join our voices in hymn 322, Thanks Be for Thee.
Today, we acknowledge the annual celebration of Thanksgiving. It's a yearly remembrance of a story, celebrated today, however imperfectly, as a time of abundance and friendship and nourishment. In reflecting upon the origins of such a day, we wrestle with two opposing tales. There is a commonly shared account of two groups, pilgrims and the indigenous peoples, reaching across race and culture to celebrate the abundance of a great harvest with one another. A story of friendship, generosity, equality, and camaraderie. It's a story that centers the goodness of the Europeans amidst a time of displacement and violence. There is the indigenous narrative of this episode as well, as but a brief moment of peace between warfare, a break before the loss of independence, and a pause before a looting of their land. It is a reminder to this day of the impacts of colonization. Today we lift up the wisdom not of the former, but of the latter. In this moment of Thanksgiving, we elevate the narrative not of the practice of dominance of the Europeans, but the indigenous practice of generosity. We lift up not the European belief of dominion, but the indigenous teaching of gratitude. We are guided today by the insight and wisdom of peoples carried through hundreds of generations of wise and loving ancestors, centering in this importance of gratitude. So we begin by simply offering thanks for the land upon which we reside, that was tilled and worshipped and tended to by generations of these indigenous peoples. Gratitude rests humbly as an underlying driver of indigenous culture, offering sincere thanks in daily life for the earth, for the elements, for the spirit world where our ancestors reside, for interdependence, for appreciation of one another. Celebrating the ritual of dance or the sacred act of gift-giving, gratitude is honored not as a momentary or periodic sentiment, however sincere, but a way of living, deeply ingrained in culture and ideology and meaning-making. In these blessed and wise cultures, gratitude for the natural world is held paramount, understood as gifts offered by all things residing in this sacred realm. I pause to lift up a piece of an indigenous Thanksgiving address, created and offered by the Haudenosaunee tribe. Deep and profound sentiments of gratitude for the abundance around and beyond us. A message of peace and appreciation for all that is. The stars, that quote, spread across the sky like jewelry, helping the moon to light the darkness and bringing dew to the gardens and growing things. The birds of whom, quote, the Creator gave beautiful songs. Each day they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. How beautiful is it to thank the stars for dew, the birds for joy. To pause furthermore in appreciation for the trees that offer shelter, the winds that purify the air, the sun that brings with it the light of day. The Thanksgiving address is lyrical in its appreciation for life's abundance. As mentioned above, all life is an act of gratitude. And in reflecting upon this ingrained belief of continuous Thanksgiving, two sentiments resonated with me. There is that gratitude for the multitude of small and mundane things, of enriching our lives by deeply appreciating a cup of coffee, a moment to pause and breathe, or that wind that touches our cheeks. There is also an opportunity to appreciate that of which may otherwise cause us distress, offering gratitude for anger as an indicator of the passion we hold deep within, or thanking a red traffic light for a lesson in patience. This is a life of beauty, awe, wonder, and an appreciation that lifts and guides the spirit. In addition to the sentiment of continuous gratitude, we lift up the wisdom a Potawatomi, botanist, Robin Wall Kimmerer, who notes that a culture of ingrained gratitude is likewise one of reciprocity. As such, we are bound to one another in reciprocal relationships, gifts flowing generously from one being to the next, from plants to plants, from person to vegetation, a reciprocity of all that lives and resides in this finite realm. As you, delicate flower, offer me beauty, I offer you in response abundant joy. As you, dear husband, offer me love, I offer you support and unconditional compassion. As you, beloved child, offer me trust and delight, may I offer you protection and guidance in each of your days. In receiving beauty and love and childlike trust with gratitude, we offer pieces of ourselves in return, joy and compassion and the guidance of elders. I'm reminded of a beautiful French proverb, gratitude is the heart's memory. When we truly appreciate all that is life-giving and beautiful, no matter whether profound or mundane, it's not simply stored in our minds, held superficially and in a transient manner of the intellect. It's held deeply in our hearts, or perhaps what we would term spirit or soul. It's holding this gratitude within our very beings. We cherish this goodness throughout any trials and tribulations. It offers a reminder of the wonder and awe of gratitude when we might be lost in distress or despair. As such, gratitude becomes a spiritual practice. It tends to our souls and becomes a gift from the divine, offering the same calm and peace and introspection and faith associated with prayer or meditation or song or worship. Gratitude is the heart's memory. In reflecting in preparation for the sermon, I contemplated my own practices of gratitude, and in doing so, I had to consider what gratitude meant to me. It's that awe of beauty, a warmth in my heart, a feeling of wholeness and completion, an acknowledgement of goodness or kindness or inspiration, of a deep desire to show appreciation in return. What saturates with great beauty my heart, mind, and soul? I hold three above the rest: nature, faith, and love. Not only does nature remind me of the wonder and awe and connection to all I hold divine, but it mirrors to me those inevitable cycles of life, of birth and death, of joy and sorrow. Held with deep appreciation, my faith guides me each of my days towards goodness and compassion and meaning-making and purpose. And love, that which offers me life-giving relationships that tend to my heart and spirit, that which calls me to the inherent worthiness of all, that which I pray guides the world in response to prevailing hate and violence. I am so very grateful for love. This month we focus on repair, and in our reflections this morning, we are offered healing and abundance. When pause in appreciation, we intentionally focus on goodness and joy and beauty, not despair and hardship and hopelessness, reframing where we place our attention on our brief time in this fleeting life, on where our energy lies. Monotony, boredom, distress, and in our hardship slip away from consciousness as our lives are permeated with small blessings and sacred hidden treasures. Goodness, love, and friendship fill our conscious hours as at night we pause in a time of thanksgiving. Each moment becomes a gift. We are immersed in the selfless generosity of our blessed Mother Earth, the stars offering dew, the birds sharing joy and delight. Every time I see beauty around me, I appreciate what I am seeing, and simultaneously, I have this sense of appreciation for being alive to have this particular moment. Writes author Jean Shinoda Boland. I wonder at being alive in any particular moment. How can we embody such a sentiment as everyday consciousness becomes a gift and our lives are permeated with grace and blessings held in abundance? Initially, I envisioned one of the most beautiful sunsets I had ever seen. My husband and I reached an overlook midway through a hike permeated with rocks to clamber over, with trees stretching towards the distant sky, deer grazing in nearby underbrush. We sat among a field of boulders, pausing amidst the changing colors of the cloudless sky, blue to orange and pink, as the distant sun slipped quietly into the horizon, and the deep dark night began to blanket us with stars that peeked through the atmosphere. This moment was a blessing, imbued with a true appreciation for being alive, as the wonder and awe of nature saturated my very spirit. But in pausing with my fingers on the keyboard, another belief passed through my mind: the wild improbability that we are even alive. There is such a profoundly minute chance that we were ever even offered this sacred, blessed, and holy chance to exist as mortal beings in a finite realm. As such, each and every moment, sunset, arguments, lunchtime, work, becomes a profound wonder as we take a moment to reflect upon the vast and incomprehensible mystery of it all. May we delight in and offer gratitude of all creation, unknowable, unintelligible, mysterious, and awesome. The more open we are towards gratitude, the more day-to-day blessings we encounter. When we perceive the life all around us, fall leaves, crisp air, the taste of apples on our tongues, wonder and awe naturally emanate from our spirits, rippling out to all our senses as we see and hear and smell and touch that which elicits deep gratitude. The mundane becomes a blessing. Weather and fruit and a warm sweater, the typical is a gift. Gratitude emanating from our spirits profoundly affects our worldview, as our philosophy on life becomes one of appreciating all the hidden gifts, and our conception of the world, the profound and unceasing natural beauty and awe. All of who we are is changed in this practice. And worldview to me runs parallel to considering what sentiments allow for a full, meaningful, purposeful life. Monk and author David Steidl-Rast offers these reflections on a blessed life. It is to love with all of our hearts and being. It is to live our lives being guided by surprise. Each act of goodness or love received with unexpected and gleeful delight. It is to offer praise, to lift up in others the unique companionship or talent or kindness. And it is to be grateful, perhaps that is paramount, to appreciate each and every moment as one of a blessed gift. So, as we work towards a grateful life, may we likewise center in those beautiful offerings of love and surprise and praise. May we live a blessed, meaningful, and purposeful life. What can we invite into our lives by receiving it with gratitude? What gifts do we welcome to our consciousness as we encounter a blessed interaction, not with indifference, apathy, or disregard, but with true, meaningful, and profound gratitude? When we encounter compassion, may we offer sincere appreciation. When we experience wisdom, may we say, thank you for this gift. When we meet joy, may we offer profound thanksgiving, as our lives are enriched and enhanced and refined. We become a being, not of anger or anxiety or jealousy, but one of hope and peace and love, as we mirror the blessing we are offered. So may we settle into the gratitude of this day. This day not of honoring European dominance and dominion, but of commemorating indigenous generosity and gratitude. Of thanking this land that has been tilled and worshipped, the hands that harvested grains and prepared our meals, the sun that fed the wheat and the water that is the source of all life. For today we celebrate an abundance of gifts, as fields of grain become the food that many of us carry in our hands. We offer gratitude for the mixing and baking that turns raw crops into delicious bread. We offer thanksgiving for the stories that pass through the generations that we will share shortly. Today is a day to lift up thanksgiving in abundance as we share in nourishment, companionship, storytelling, and faith. May it be so, and amen. In this moment, I invite us into a practice of gratitude and storytelling as we celebrate bread communion. Many of us brought a grain dish with us this morning and a story that accompanies it. In just a moment, I will invite you to come forward with your grain dish and offer us those unique and special tales you hold in your heart. We each offer thanks for the blessed stories we are about to receive and the communal meal we will share after worship. To those of you in the sanctuary, I invite you to come forward with your dish and share your story. Those of us joining online will have a chance to unmute and share shortly.
Hi. So, last name, married into April. My name was Joel, for that they were here. So, it's Irish, grandmother. We really didn't do much cards and like the rest of that. But I had never met my grandfather, so I heard that he became a foot player. And, you know, to the center and Baltimore, the bricks and some things in arcades and other things, and a condo that I bought originally when I was in Baltimore. So I wish I would have known him. And on Charlie's side, it was overall athlete with that. And there's something custody. Don't have a connection there. But I've heard of Charlie's dad, and I definitely sounds like a great guy. Lawyer, intelligent, like basketball. So anyway, grateful to have some ancestry.
We have to keep the bread up here because they're having coffee hour downstairs, so we'll all bring our beds together afterwards.
There?
No, in your lap.
Okay.
So thank you for understanding that there's coffee hour downstairs. Okay. So I brought cranberry nut bread. Growing up, my mom always used to make us banana bread and cranberry nut bread, and now it's become more of a holiday specialty, particularly Thanksgiving. So I was in New Jersey with my mom last weekend, and we got together and made our Thanksgiving bread. So this is my Thanksgiving bread.
I brought homemade pita bread. Started from Egyptian culture, the pita bread with your meal comes. And growing up Egyptian, have that as part of our basic staple. Who knew you could actually make it, right? You don't just buy it in the store. And it really does puff up if you do it right. So I've been really excited to make this for the past few years. Yeah.
have much of a baking tradition in my family. We do much more towards like Wonder Bread and Pop-Tarts. But every Christmas, we would get a box of baked crackers, blueberry muffins, and actually mix them together and put it in the oven. So I brought two baked crackers, blueberry.
So I brought some cornbread. Growing up, my dad grew up in Texas, and his family was from all over the South. And so growing up, we would often have a lot of Southern cooking, and one of the big meals was cornbread and beans. And so I enjoy going back to and getting at bread beans to make some of his dishes, either cornbread or biscuits. So I had cornbread this year.
This is a bit of a departure for me. I made Swedish cardamom buns this year, and it's really remembering the Vincent. Is Jim still here? Oh, hey, Jim. So, if anyone remembers, Margot used to make these, and even into her memory loss, I know Jim typed up something for her to read, and they made them together, I believe. So, when I found the recipe, I just think we're not eating enough cardamom in our lives, and so I found the recipe, and Jim has given me the thumbs up to bring them.
This is not exactly an old tradition. When Dan and I went to visit my nephew last summer, he's a chef who runs an inn now, he described to me a method he uses for making a rice bread for gluten-free folks. And fortunately, I immediately went home and tried to look up on something that seemed similar, find a recipe online. And this seemed similar, and the reason it's fortunate that I did it right away was because I didn't make it until now, and I would never have remembered what he told me. But I think this resembles Justin's bread. And I made a trial batch on Friday so that we could decide whether or not it's worthy of bringing today. That's what I did.
That was my other effort. But I moved here in year 2020. I moved in with the first one. We had the very moved in with us 1 month old. So moved in with them, of course, for the next 2 years, the child never got to use anything that he could do with small children. And so I would always be looking at, and of course, very little in children, but we had these things that have eggs. So we learned how to make this cheese garlic breadstick, and he's almost 5 now, and we still make cheese garlic breadsticks at least once a month, just like, and I make these without him because he still puts everything in his mouth, but that was my like great story. Any other stories from the sanctuary? Well, thank you all for sharing that, and we're going to give our Zoom folks a chance now.
Is Sherry going to join us? Yes. I have to start the video. Hang on. I'm here. Hope you can see my bread. Oh, good. Yes, I'm here. And this is our favorite holiday bread. It's raisin bread. And we just love it. And unfortunately, Doug can't eat it this morning because he's recovering from dental surgery. So I'm taking care of him. But all your bread looks great. Thank you.
Is that it, Dave? That might be it.
That's all?
Yes.
Blessed are the grains that offer nourishment. Blessed are the tales of our hearts. Sacred is this day of giving thanks, of bestowing gratitude for the spirit of abundance, and an appreciation for the many blessings of friendship and community. Blessed be this bread that unites us in story, faith, gratitude, and love. Please rise and bow your spirit to join our voices in hymn 205 in the great hymnal, Amazing Grace. May we go forth from this place of blessings abundant, offering gratitude for the many gifts bestowed upon us. May we leave these sacred and hallowed walls with words of thanksgiving on our lips, feelings of gratitude in our spirits, and sentiments of abundance echoing in our hearts. Go in peace, and amen.